ultimate guide to Game of Thrones filming locations around the world. HBO's Game of Thrones is lauded for its lush world building, and the visually stunning way production designers, and, wig experts, have brought George R.R. Martin's rich, complicated world to life. Game of Thrones is, after all, a study in mind-blowing landscapes, frigid wastelands and forests beyond the Wall, the amply-treed King's Road, turquoise waters across the narrow sea, and the sunny, medieval King's Landing, to name a few. While many of GOT's recurring sets, like the Iron Throne, are filmed at Paint Hall Studios in Belfast, the show shoots largely on location, primarily in Northern Ireland and Iceland for scenes in the north, and Croatia and Spain for the south. Cast members who have scenes beyond the Wall have been known to film in freezing temperatures, often on lands buried in feet of snow. With such an impressive roster of medieval cities and stunning islands on their shoot list, it should come as no surprise that a GOT location tour around Europe would make for an ideal vacation. For all you travel junkies out there, we've compiled the ultimate Game of Thrones travel guide to help inspire your next trip. This may seem obvious, but there are light spoilers ahead. Daenerys and Khal Drogo's wedding. Way back in Season 1 of Game of Thrones, fans saw a pre-dragon Daenerys marry the blood of her blood and moon of her life, Khal Drogo. The wedding scene was filmed at the stunning Azure Window in Malta. It was a major tourist attraction both before and after the filming. Sadly, in 2017, the window collapsed in a storm. The Iron Islands. The Iron Islands, home of the Greyjoys, is actually set at the Ballantoy Harbour in Northern Ireland. Though it's a place Theon likely never wants to see again, you may want to visit to get a true taste of Ireland life. The Scaffold of King's Landing. Perhaps the saddest location in all of Game of Thrones. Fort Manol in Malta was used as the location where Ned Stark met his end on King Joffrey's orders. Built in the 18th century, the fort remains on UNESCO's tentative World Heritage List. But really, it should make the list from its GOT appearance alone. Beyond the Wall. The scenes beyond the Wall have been filmed at various locations around Iceland, most notably the Myrdalsjökull Glacier, the Hverfjall volcano, and the Vatnajökull Glacier. The mountain beyond the Wall. One specific location beyond the Wall happened in Season 7 Episode 6. It was then that Daenerys and her dragon save, almost, everyone from certain death at the hands of the Night King. In real life, that location is actually Kirkjufell, a famous mountain and waterfall in Iceland. Winterfell. The pilot episode of Game of Thrones featuring the Stark family home of Winterfell was shot at Doune Castle in Scotland. However, later episodes featuring Winterfell were filmed at Castle Ward in Northern Ireland. The Forests of Winterfell. Remember when the Stark boys found a litter of dire wolf puppies in the forests of Winterfell? Filming of the scene took place in Tullamore Forest Park, in Northern Ireland. The forest was the first named state forest in Northern Ireland and remains open to visitors, campers, and hikers alike. King's Landing. Though most of King's Landing doesn't really exist in real life, it's shot in a studio. Some exterior shots include locations like Dubrovnik and Split, both in Croatia. The Dothraki Sea. The Dothraki Sea, otherwise known as the Great Grass Sea, is actually the Glens of Antrim in Northern Ireland. Which, funny enough, means the Dothraki technically live next door to the Starks. The King's Road. Northern Ireland is home to some of the world's most picturesque natural beauty, so it makes sense that the dark hedges were used to film the grandest road in the land, otherwise known as the King's Road. Dragonstone Beach. In the show, Dragonstone Beach is home to several pivotal scenes. It happens to be where the burning of the Seven took place, as well as the place where Dany goes home to roost in Season 7. The interior of Dragonstone is filmed on a sound stage in Belfast, however, the beach, cave, and footbridge are all real and filmed at Itzeran Beach in Zumaya and Muriola Beach near Barica. Both beaches can be visited in one go on a trip to the northern coast of Spain. Jon and Ygritte's cave. In perhaps the sexiest scene in Game of Thrones history, Jon Snow proves he doesn't, in fact, know nothing, while spending an intimate evening with his wildling love interest Ygritte. In the show, the pair spend the night north of the Wall, but in real life, the filming location actually sits inside a lava cave Grjótagja, Iceland. Qarth. Lochrum, an island in the Adriatic Sea, was used for filming scenes in the greatest city that ever was or will be, otherwise known as Qarth. The Benedictine monastery on the island stood in as Xaro Xaon Daxo's mansion, which can be seen in Season 2's 5th episode. Melisandre's birthing cave. One of Game of Thrones' creepiest scenes features Lady Melisandre giving birth to a shadow that later kills Renly Baratheon. The scene was filmed at the caves at Cushendam in County Antrim, Northern Ireland. The House of the Undying. When Daenerys' dragons are stolen during her stay in the city of Qarth, she's led to the House of the Undying, which was filmed inside the walls of Mencita Tower in Croatia. Astapor. Daenerys certainly travels the furthest in the show throughout the Seven Kingdoms and in Season 3. She heads to the slavers' base city of Astapor. There, Daenerys meets the army of the Unsullied, who become her loyal allies. Principal photography was shot in the Moroccan port city of Essaouira, Yunki, and Pentos. Another Slavers' Bay filming location also overlaps with the location of Pentos. Both locations are actually the fortified city of Ait Ben Haddou in Morocco in real life. Braavos. Everyone's favorite faceless man in training, Arya Stark, arrives in the free city of Braavos in the 5th season. No, she didn't actually go to a mythical land to train for years on end. Instead, filming actually took place in Šibenik, a gorgeous and historical city in Croatia. The Water Palaces of Dorne. The fan-favorite House of Martell calls the Water Palaces of Dorne home, which was actually filmed at the Alcazar de Sevilla in Spain. The Great Pit of Daznac. Daznac's Pit, the largest fighting pit in the Slavers' Bay city of Meereen, seen in the 9th episode of Season 5, is the location where Ser Jorah enters combat to fight for the Queen's honor. In real life, the Osuna Bull Ring in Sevilla, Spain, stood in as the Great Pit. The Long Bridge of Volantis. The Long Bridge in the free city of Volantis, which is depicted in the series' 5th season, used the Roman bridge in Córdoba, Spain for principal photography. Highgarden. In the 4th episode of Season 7, fans finally got a look at Highgarden, the home of the House Tyrell. Sadly, it was seized by Jaime Lannister. But, the filming location, the Castillo de Almodóvar del Rio in the Andalusian province of Córdoba, remains free of the Lannister grip. The location is open to the public, so go explore the towers and walls.